Alright y'all, as promised, we will be taking a look at what a week is like on my current program. So like I've said in the past, normally I do just do my own programming, but recently I decided to switch things up. 90% just to force myself to do accessories, because I found that when I'm the only one, I guess, holding myself to doing accessory work, I tend to skip them or not make the time for them. Whenever I do someone else's programming, I like to go into it as if that person is going to know whether or not I'm following the program completely and if I am shortchanging anything. So with that said, I do make a few changes to the program, mostly just with the split, because it is a 5-day program. I only train 4 days a week. So I do have to kind of move things around and like combine days and everything, but I do complete everything that she has prescribed within the program. But if you are still interested in the program, even with all of my changes, you can just head over to Strengthleap, and even if you check it out and decide it's not for you, you have programs made by athletes such as like Amanda Kahatsu, Kevin Oak, John Hack has a few in there for all you fan boys and girls. And then other than that, there are just a couple accessories that I do either take out or sub for other exercises, and we'll kind of go through that as we go through the footage. And those are purely due to my own comfort level, equipment, and my abilities. This footage is actually a couple weeks old, and we have since started a new wave within the program. So I think in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I will be posting the last week of the second wave, which I'm looking forward to because I do think she has me set up for some good squat numbers by the end. And it'll just be cool to see like how the program has changed wave to wave, microcycle to microcycle. Last little thing to note, I do get still kind of, I guess, embarrassed when recording my entire workouts at the gym, just because it is a small town. There's not a lot of like big like content creators on Instagram or YouTube in the town I live in, except for Mr. Beast and his brother. They kind of hold it down. Actually, one of the days that I recorded, I actually had to do something a little bit different because he was recording at my gym and half of the gym was blocked off. So that was interesting. But what I'm getting at is I did not record every single accessory. I don't think I recorded any of my warm-ups. So I will briefly go over what I did to warm up for that workout, and then what accessories I did following the main movements. I did record all of my compounds, obviously. So I think that's everything. I think we can start cracking into this. So I did record all of the footage on my potato phone, but I will have that up for you to watch while I go over the week. For warm-ups, this day I did 5x5 on lat pull downs, 3x12 each side walking lunges, and band pull aparts for bench later. So for the first wave, she had me doing, I think, 3 sets of 4 on competition squats at the start of every week. This final workout of the wave, I worked up to 275 for 4. I was actually really bummed because when I chose this week to kind of be the week that I record for YouTube, I really thought, I was like certain I had done 280 for 4. I think it was one of those things where the percentage of my 1 rep max was like in between 275 and 280. It was like 277 or something. And I wasn't feeling great that day, and I was like, you know, let's just be conservative and do 275. I really wish I hadn't, because you will see that this moves very fast. Secondary on the competition squat days is low bar paused back squats. I worked up to a paused set of 4 at 240. I put low bar in quotes because I don't know that what I do is necessarily a true low bar. It's kind of in between like a high and low bar. Yeah, easy peasy, as those should be. They don't feel great in the moment, obviously, but they should look fast. So moving on to bench, normally she has day 1 is all squat and legs, and day 2 is bench and a lot of bench accessories. Again, for the sake of time, I do mash these compounds together, and then I'll just put my bench accessories on the very last day of the program. She also has me doing comp bench and spoto press. This day I only do the competition bench, and I put the spoto press in on like day 2 or 3 of the program, depending on my work week. And then I will put the close grip bench in on the last day of the program, just to kind of break up the bench frequency. She only has me benching 2 times a week on this program, and I just do better with higher frequency. Again, that's just me mutilating the program for my own needs. So as you can see, pretty easy pause set of 6 with 150. It looks like 160, but I'm pretty positive those are 35-pound plates, because I think I was just being lazy in my plate loading that day. So following all of my compounds this day, I just did single leg press, 4x8 each leg, and dumbbell RDLs, 3 sets of 12. So next up is day 3 of the program. Like I said, I combined days 1 and days 2, so now we're on to day 3. The warm up for this being 3x10 walking lunges, 3x20 Cossack squats, and 3x8 lat pull downs. Which you do lat pull downs as your warm up like 3 times a week on this program, and I love that because that is just such a great way to like sneak in more back volume, which I desperately need. So this wave was also 4s on deadlift. As you can see, I worked up to a top set of 4 with 260. These are the prettiest looking conventional deadlifts. Absolutely not. I have T-Rex arms. I have since switched back to sumo. She has conventional deadlift in the program. I just felt once I grew more accustomed to the increased squat frequency and quad volume that I would be able to put sumo back in. I also just felt like I was getting like way too rusty on sumo because there was no opportunity for me to kind of keep that movement primed. So I have put it back in. Another thing is she doesn't really have you going at like really high intensity with the deadlift, I think, to emphasize the squat. So I'm not too worried about putting sumo in with all the squat volume. I think it'll be fine. So here I actually showed some of my accessories just because they were like in the back area, and that's where I am comfortable recording accessories, if any. A lot of the accessories are machines, and those are on the other side of the gym where it's just very populated, and there's like no real place for me to put my camera, so I just happen to be able to record here. So you saw some Bulgarian split squats, sets of 8, and then you see single leg RDLs. Now when I do these, you'll see that I have kind of a rounded upper back, and that is just for me to be able to feel my glutes more. So if you see, I kind of stop the range of motion short, and I kind of keep my upper back a little bit rounded. I got that tip from Brett Contreras. Hopefully I am executing this properly, but when I do it this way, I really do feel it in my hamstrings and in my glutes. And I think that was like literally like a 30-pound dumbbell and like a 20-pound dumbbell. These single leg RDLs are actually not in the program for this day. They're in on another day. But she also has stiff leg deadlifts on this day, which I try to avoid doing on days that I do deadlifts. I have I forget the word, I have like a thinning disc. My very lowest disc is very compressed and only has a very small space. So whenever I do a lot of low back heavy work, my low back does get very taxed and it can get lit up very quickly. So I really like these because they take a lot of the strain out of my low back, and I'm still able to do kind of a hinge accessory on this day. And then I put in the stiff legs on another day. So y'all have to keep in mind when doing a cookie cutter program that while no, not everyone is a special snowflake and needs their own custom program, a cookie cutter program will not be able to take into account you and your needs and your abilities, no matter how great or how limited. So don't feel bad if there's an accessory movement in a program and it's really bothering you. There's no accessory that is so crucial to the function of a whole program that you need to keep in at the expense of your health and your experience of the program. And then T-bar rows was the final accessory of this day. If you'll see, I am cleaning off my equipment like a civilized fucking human being. So I am a functioning member of society. So, and I promise I did wipe off the rest. I just wanted to leave part of me wiping that for the gag. So day 4, the warm-up was walking lunges 3x12, Cossack squats 3x8. So on this day she prescribes safety squat bar squat. I do not have a safety squat bar, so I just do front squats. So again, that's kind of an audible you can call for yourself when dealing with a cookie cutter program to make it more suited for you. But so on day 5, she had written high bar paused squats. I just put those in on the day I was doing front squats anyway. So here we have high bar paused squats, sets of 5. Coming to you from the thirst angle. It is so funny because by the time the end of the week rolls around, this feels like heavy. And obviously it's just 225 and some change. So here we have front squats at an equally, if not more, terrible angle. But you get the gist of what's going on. So this followed by close grip bench press. I totally wasn't thinking about it, and the person who recorded it in portrait mode. I guess this would be portrait because then the other is landscape. So here we have more lazy plate loading. This is 140 for an easy set of 6. That's another thing. Technically, this was supposed to be neutral grip bench, which I'm assuming she means with like a football bar. But because I do not have that, we went close grip. So again, just making adjustments with what you have. So then following this workout, I did heel elevated goblet squats, 3 sets of 12, leg raises in the captain's chair. I did dumbbell RDLs. She put in conventional RDLs, but again, for the sake of my low back, I did it just with dumbbells. She also had in good mornings on this day, again, for the sake of time and preserving my low back. I just did hamstring curls, quad extensions, back extensions, which those I can do comfortably. And then the very last day, this was the day that actually Mr. Beast came to film, and that is why I am lifting on other side. And as you can see, there are a lot of people and not a lot of places to put equipment to record. So yeah, you just see like people everywhere, and that's why I don't like recording on this side, but I did it for you, the viewer. And this was the Spoto press that I was supposed to do on day 2. Just pausing 1 inch above my chest. So for that day I did single arm cable rows, and then all of the accessories that I was supposed to do on day 2 with bench press, and that was incline dumbbell bench. I did a 4x8. I think I worked up to the 45s or the 55 dumbbells. Not that I would have proof. I did rear delt flies, landmine press with actually that chest supported T-bar machine that I showed earlier. Lateral raises, 4 sets of 15. Overhead tricep extensions. I did these seated with a dumbbell for 5 sets of 12. And then 3 sets of 45 seconds on planks. So that is it, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed seeing my bastardization of this program. I hope that this inspired y'all who do kind of gravitate more towards cookie cutter programs or just getting programming, that you don't have to follow every single thing to a T within a program, as long as you follow the prescribed volumes and intensity. And you can move things around as well, as long as you maintain adequate rest between the exercises. And again, if there's an accessory that just doesn't agree with you, or that you don't like, or you don't have access to the equipment to do it, you can always sub it out for something that you feel more comfortable with. Please comment below if you have any questions. Again, I should be posting the end of the second wave here in like 2 or 3 weeks. And I should be posting a physique update somewhere in the meantime. So be on the lookout for that. And I will see y'all in the next one. Say bye, Mip. Okay, bye.